What's up, Headless Horde? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about New York Comic-Con versus San Diego Comic-Con. Before we get too far into the video, if you could do me a massive favor and smash that like button and subscribe if you're new, if you enjoy content on all things Comic-Cons, collectibles, Game of Thrones, and Star Wars. All right, guys, so I was just at New York Comic-Con just over a week ago, and after talking to many people in different lines, I got to talking to them about the differences from New York to San Diego. So here are the top 5 questions that I always feel like I am being asked about the difference between the two cons. Number 1, what is the biggest difference with autographing? So a lot of the times at New York Comic-Con, I find myself stuck in long lines, waiting sometimes multiple hours for autographs. So the way that this works at New York Comic-Con, and the same goes for a lot of your local cons, is that the con itself will actually pay the actors, will pay the talent to come in to do autographs and photo sessions with fans. The price that they pay per person is obviously going to be negotiated between that person's team. The price that you are paying at the con actually does not go right to the talent. So for example, last year, Chris Evans and Ewan McGregor, obviously 2 big draws, came to New York Comic-Con. This year we had Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Bettany, Matt Smith, and Josh Brolin as some of the headliners. Let's just say that these actors receive $100,000 to come for the con. So the way this works then is the con will actually go ahead and set the prices, and they are the ones who are actually charging for quotes and character names. Again, depending upon who the actor is, the con charges that because they want a way to make up the money that they're paying for the bigger stars. The way that autographing works at San Diego Comic-Con is a little bit different because it is considered a non-profit organization. So San Diego does not pay actors to show up to their convention. The autographs that you will find on the show floor are typically one of 2 types. Number 1, the actual booth, whoever they're representing, the actual booth will then hire the actor to come in, and they will either offer it for free just to get some traction and some eyes on their booth. And a lot of those are going to be ticketed events where you're going to have to line up early to come and get a ticket, or even possibly pull a ticket for the opportunity. Then like this happens every year with Todd McFarlane, for an example. You have to get in the line, you go through the line, you get to the end, you pull, and if the ticket is a certain color or whatever, then you get the autograph. If you don't pull the correct ticket, then you either lose or you try the next day, or sometimes you can even get back in line because they will keep running that to all of the autograph tickets have been pulled. There are also some booths that will bring in talent to do autographs, and they will then charge their own fee. So for example, at the last con, Emily Swallow was brought in by a booth, and then she charged a flat rate for whatever the autograph cost. And then her team ends up probably keeping the majority of that. There are also autographs at San Diego that are up in what they call the sales area. And these people are coming in and they basically charge their own price as well. The second question that I get asked quite a bit is, what about merchandise and exclusives? Now at New York, they definitely have exclusives, but it's a little bit smaller in the collectible range. So basically you'll have your Funko, you will have sometimes Mondo, you will have Bait, you will have 100% Soft, and there's a few others as well. But a lot of exclusives at New York are emphasized in the comic and literary area, like signed books, limited edition prints, and exclusive comic covers. Now, at San Diego Comic Con, they're known for exclusives that are going to be related to bigger franchises in the movies, television series. So, again, they're going to have your Funko Pops. Hasbro has a presence, Lego has a presence, Gentle Giant has a presence, 100% Soft has a presence. Entertainment Earth, although they were not there last year, they usually have a presence. Mattel has a presence. Super 7 has a presence. And I can go on and on. Almost every booth that has some type of following is going to have some type of an exclusive that people will be after. Again, the biggest difference is that the merchandise and the exclusives at San Diego are definitely going to be related to the most popular things. And again, New York's merchandise and exclusives will be more in the line of comics and anime and things over in Artist Alley. The third thing that I do get asked quite a bit is about panels. At New York Comic Con, the panels are popular, but generally feature more creators, authors, and voice actors with a mix of big and small pop culture events. Obviously, Walking Dead is one of their biggest draws for their panels. They also are very well known to show either episodes or clips of episodes in their panels. A lot of times, the actors are there, but they are not on stage most of the panel because they're showing off something. For example, a few years ago, when the Chucky television series came out, we ended up watching the entire episode, and then a couple of the cast members came out for like the last 15 minutes. One other thing to note is that New York is definitely more apt to having a spotlight on a specific actor. So, for example, I've seen spotlights on Billy D. Williams, on Chris Evans, on Ewan McGregor. This year, they didn't really do that. Now, they did have a panel that had 3 actors from House of the Dragon, but unfortunately that was on Sunday and I was unable to attend. But this year they didn't have any of your what you would call A-list actors having their own spotlight panels, which I did find kind of curious. At San Diego, the panels are much bigger and grander, so you're going to have your huge panels which are located in Hall H, and this is where Marvel will bring in, a bunch of different clips and news about their upcoming films and television series. Disney has only brought Star Wars once since I think 2016, I believe. And then 2016, that was with The Force Awakens. But they have actually not had a panel talking about movies because they usually save that for D23 or they save it for Star Wars Celebration. But you also have panels with Kevin Smith, which has become a regular thing. You will have panels on the DC. You will have panels on Amazon, whatever their series are. You'll have big panels on stuff for Apple TV and so on and so forth. So you are going to get more star power, if you will, at San Diego Comic-Con in the panels. Question 4 is, how hard is it to get tickets, especially to San Diego? And I'm kind of going along with that. What does the ticket actually get you? Because I do think that people that go to New York don't quite understand all that's included when you go to San Diego. So as far as getting the actual tickets, New York, it seems to be much easier to get tickets. Even if you miss out on Saturday, which is, their most popular day, it's pretty easy to actually get the other days if that's what you want. Even Saturday isn't overly difficult. The hardest ticket to get for New York is your 4-day pass. That's the VIP pass. And the reason why this pass is nice is because you have separate lines when shopping at the merch store and for autographs and photo ops. So it does save you time standing in lines waiting for all of those different experiences. As far as San Diego, it is very difficult to get tickets, unfortunately. There are 130,000 tickets available, and these all sell out between their 2 badge sales. The first sale is for returning guests, where they sell about half, and then the other half goes up for their open registration, where you have everybody who wants to try to go, whether or not you're returning or not, try to get those other half of the tickets. Again, it's very difficult to get because it's probably one of the biggest events in California throughout the year, especially in the summer. As far as what does the ticket give you? Well, New York, you basically are going into the convention center, and then you have access to the floor, the panels, the guests. Once in a while, there might be something around the Javits Center, like some type of offsite, but it's usually not more than 1 or 2 things. Where in San Diego, you're getting access to everything that's the same as far as the convention center, but you also get access to everything around the convention center. Now, they have a huge area where they have tons and tons of off-sites. Typically, though, you actually don't need a Comic-Con badge to attend most of those. There are a few here and there, but for the most part, anybody can just go down and experience any of them. So in the long run, the tickets basically get you the same opportunities, and the biggest difference would be the off-sites and just how much larger that San Diego is in the convention center. The biggest advice I can offer as far as getting tickets to off-sites, so you're not waiting in standby lines, is to follow the bigger companies out there, such as Paramount and Fandom, and all the companies that end up coming to San Diego on social media, because they will let you know when tickets go on sale, and sometimes they just tweet it and with the link, and that's it. Also, Facebook groups are a great way to kind of hone in on those types of experiences. Finally, one question I get a lot of is, which one is better? Well, that is completely up to what type of experience you want. If you're a person who wants to go for autographs and you like the photo opportunities and you just want to get that stuff on either artwork or whatever, New York Comic Con is going to be your better con, probably, because that is where you can meet, upwards of 80 different guests. Now, granted, you're not going to be able to meet all of them because there's not enough time in the day for that. You are standing in line a lot more, I think, in New York. Again, it depends upon, though, how many guests you do want to meet. So, for example, I met 4 guests on Friday and 3 guests on Saturday, and that was most of my day. I did not make any panels. I was able to walk around the show floor for maybe about 2 to 3 hours total, and most of that is actually standing in line. So the lines at New York are definitely longer, I think, than at San Diego. Now, San Diego definitely has their own lines, but again, most of that is going to be collectibles. And yes, they will have lines for different actors that show up at different booths, but I think that New York needs to make the experience better as far as these lines. And I don't know what the actual solution is, but the lines, I've waited hours and hours and hours for different actors, and some of it is just you just sit there and wait, or you stand there and wait. As far as overall experience, I have to go with San Diego Comic-Con, just because there's so much to do. Or sometimes when I go to New York, after I leave the convention center, I don't feel like I'm at Comic-Con anymore. Where in San Diego, it doesn't matter what time of night or day that you are walking around, it always feels like Comic-Con. And, that's the whole reason to go, is you want the overall huge experience. That's why we go. And at New York, like I said, you leave the convention center and you don't really find restaurants or hotels really celebrating it very much. Where in San Diego, every single hotel in the Gaslamp District has special menus, special drinks, that kind of stuff going on. And there's tons and tons of after parties as well. Like I said, in New York, we usually see a play because there's not much going on at night unless you are hanging out at the convention center, because they do go late for some of their stuff. Like for example, Jackbox TV, they had like a couple later panels on doing that, and the fans, in the room could also play along. San Diego, they have Funko Fun Days, Fandom Party, which New York does have a Fandom Party as well. There are different nightclubs that offer Comic-Con themed parties. There is tons of offsites. So I definitely lean towards San Diego as the better con or the more fun con. But like I said, it really does depend upon what type of experience you're looking for. If you're looking to meet actors and that kind of stuff, New York's your way to go. If you're looking at just kind of a big celebration of just all nerdy things, San Diego is going to be the way to go for you there. All right, guys. Well, now it's your turn. Tell me what you think about New York and San Diego down in the comments. Which one do you prefer? Do you think that one is better than the other? Also, let me know if you have any other questions that I can answer either in the comments or in a future video. Thank you so much. Don't forget to keep those heads on, and I'll see you guys in the next video.